was trying to get my sister on board.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Mm,
Well, good
okay.
morning to our Saturday coffee chat. Um, it is the first Saturday of April. Oh my goodness, right? We're already into
Hmm.
the fourth month of the year. It seems like it's been a long time. It's like moving through sludge some days. So, um, yeah, so just getting to the meeting, the Zoom, the platform has a new protocol now with security. So there are passcodes, and I actually, as the host, have to admit people into the group. And apparently there was an email. Deb had shared that because Zoom is being used so much more right now for people to stay socially connected and to conduct work at home, with some people who like to take advantage of these kinds of situations. There were trolls and, people who were coming in and hijacking meetings and doing some naughty things. So this morning, just to get on our coffee chat, we had to go through a new hurdle. And I was just sharing before we started the recording is that this is actually in line with the topic that I wanted to just share on today, this morning, about looking at how we react to our day-to-day life right now is going to create a new reality, when our situation changes. And this is part of, how do we have peace even though we haven't achieved our goals, or just in times when we're feeling like we're just on a groundhog day, like we're going through the motions, but we're not feeling the results or seeing the results or feeling like we've achieved much of anything. And so it can feel like we're on a hamster wheel, and I totally get that. So that's kind of the topic that I wanted to share on today. So I wanted to, thank the ladies that, work through those roadblocks to get to the meeting today, to get to the Zoom chat. It is the first Saturday of April, the fourth month. And it's a new month and a time for a new perspective and a new mindset as we go forward. So I just wanted to talk today about how to find peace in your present moment as you're going towards your goal. And really, like I said, what we do now and how we react to whatever's going on in our life now. I mean, everybody's going through, globally a challenging time, but, in our day-to-day life, in our own personal situations, how we react to those things is going to determine sort of that reality that we come out of this situation with. Like, we're all a little bit different I was just thinking about Deb today. Her husband is, working away. She's there on her own with her dog. Thank goodness Brandy's there with her to keep her company. And generally she would have friends to go on walks with, quilting groups to go and socialize with, but she is actually home by herself, quarantining by herself, and I have a 14-year-old that's driving me nuts, and, and so we all have these different situations, and how we react to them is going to just be the catapult for life every day, and then how that life builds up into how we come out of this. So I'll post the blog from Rachel Hollis, but it's like, if you start creating unhealthy habits now, when's that going to stop? And she had mentioned, if you start drinking more now, because you're just home, you don't have to show up to work, if that becomes a daily thing, when's that going to stop? So you're creating this new habit. And if you're binge eating now, how is that going to, how are you going to come out of that? And I know that we're all facing a little bit of that with emotional eating. I don't think we have a lot of drinkers in our fit family, but I don't know, that could be changing. And just because we're trying to cope with life, right? So what the whole the mindset that we have to create right now is something that we've kind of touched on before, and we make this kind of a part and we started in January with our miracle morning. And that is just, finding that peace in the present moment and finding your happiness in what you have right now. And being, because the experiences that we have internally reflect what our life is externally. And there are a lot of things that we can't control, obviously, and some big things that are then coming back to affect our internal mood. And that's where we have to decide, how are we going to process that? And are we going to look at it as a roadblock or an attack even? Or are we going to make it a lesson that we can learn and look at, and it's always good. I always like to go to gratitude. If I'm feeling stressed out or out of control or frustrated or sad, like I want to look at gratitude, just kind of like bring me back to realizing that it's not as bad as my mind wants me to make it out to be. And then going from there to be able to take it to that place of where this is a lesson. This is something that's going to teach me. This is something that if I embrace it, it's going to help me grow. And then that then becomes that new habit that you're creating when you're faced with challenges, because we will come out of this. And like I was saying in the beginning, this article that I read that prompted these, why I wanted to talk about this today, was an article from 2017. And in the article, it talks about this crisis that we're going through that, is part of our state of happiness. And I can't even remember what was happening in 2017 that this article would have been talking about. But just know that we've gone through lots of things in our past, and there's going to be things that happen in the future. So we have this opportunity right now to create new ways of dealing and coping with life that is maybe stressful. And so how does this all, relate to the goals that we're trying to achieve, and finding peace in that? And then, just kind of like bringing it back to like what we're trying to do in our challenge groups, in our fit family, as far as our health and fitness goals, but it's overall wellness, overall well-being, because it is a lot more than physical fitness that we're trying to create here. It is, you have to take care of that internal state so that you can create an external outcome. And so we do need to do those things, like I was saying, like we maybe learned in the miracle morning, of having just a little quiet time, a little vision of where you see your life. And when you have that vision, to make sure that it's not that you're having happy, positive emotions when you're looking at that vision, and not dread and doom. And then also having the affirmations, which you can recreate as far as, what's going on now and how you see yourself coming out of this. So we talk about the I am affirmations, because you're not going to try to create, you don't want to say I'm going, or I will try, or even I will do this. It's I am, so that your brain perceives it as something you are right now, because you have to have that positive emotion and that positive internal state in the moment that you're feeling a little bit of that chaos and that frustration, to be able to create that new reality. And so with that, so you have your vision and you have some affirmations, reading. So I love it because it actually ties into this, and just all the little steps, the little things, the little habit stacking that we're going to create in the next 2 months that we're going to like focus our brain on. And it's the compound effect of creating just little changes, little shifts that help you then take that next step to that. And like habit stacking is about creating, I do this, and then I do this, and then I do this. So you're training your mind. Oh, she's doing that. So next we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, right? So it just kind of, we do have to train our brain. And so if we're always feeling that dread and that doom, if we're giving into that fear, if we're not content in our present moment, and that can be a challenge. you have to like actively work through those things. But if we're constantly just in that state of discontent and disgruntled and angry and bitter and defeated, it's going to be hard for you and your brain and your body to move forward. So we tend to, and this really, what happens externally and, you know, what you can control in your environment, I call it the hula hoop, because you can really only control like what's happening right here, right? Everything out beyond that is sort of out of your control. But what's going on internally reflects to what's happening externally. So if you are waking up in a bad mood, you're probably going to stub your toe on the way to the bathroom, and you're going to yell at your kids or the dog, you know. And then and just thinking and not even really thinking of what's going on. So being aware of that and being, and just, you know, owning that and then proactively changing that. So we tend to like have this illusion that, oh gosh, yesterday was a good day. But if we look back, that good day started with the inside. We woke up feeling better. We had a good night's sleep or something. And, you know, and then so that then reflected on how our day unrolled. Oh, sorry. I had to let Karen back in. So, so as we're going towards our goal, and as we look at our goal, and this is really good because we are kicking off on Monday, as we look at that goal, we can't look at it as that it's so far out there, and that where I'm sitting right now is, it could bring about these feelings that you're not enough, or again, on that hamster wheel, you feeling like you're on that hamster wheel, like I've tried all things, but I can't get there. We have to, in this present moment, if you're feeling that, take some time to do some meditation today, and gratitude, to know that one, you're here and you've made a commitment to show up each day. That's creating that new habit. And if you can be content and happy in this present day and bring that into each day, then having that is more important than actually getting to the goal. Because what happens as we're going towards the goal, and the things that we create each day, and that state of well-being that we have to proactively and bring with intention, is how we're creating the life that we really want. So that when we get to that goal, we can be fulfilled. If you're not doing that, if you're not finding the peace, if you're not having that gratitude, if you're not recognizing that maybe it is a bad day, and what can I do to turn this around, or where can I find that gratitude, or where can I find the peace in this moment? When you get to that goal, you're still not going to be as content, right? You're going to get to that goal and like, okay, I got here, but still not happy and still feeling like not enough. And so you really have to create that. So the experiences that lead you to the goal are more important than the goal itself. And I think really, if we can just take this, like living fit every day, living is life in action, right? We each have this day of life right now, and we're living it. And so how are we going to live it? And fit is more than physical. It applies to every area of our life. So we need to be not just thinking about our workouts and our meal plan, but also, you know, our mental health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health, and how we are showing up in our relationships, and how we're dealing with our finances. So it's fit in every area of your life. And every day is because life happens one day at a time. And we show up every day the best that we can with what we're faced with, and use the tools that we have to be able to create the life that we want. And that is living fit every day. That is like how you just be happy in the moment, getting to the goal that you've set, whether it's a health goal or, you know, some other goal, you know, with your family or finances or whatever it is. So really just let's apply all the tools that we have, because we have them. And know that we're here to support each other. And that's one of the biggest ones that I know I have gotten through such, tremendously devastating times and times of feeling very much in despair, that when I leaned into what I knew could bring me out of it, I was able to get out of it. And it can be a process. And it's not like, okay, I'm happy. It doesn't work that way as much as we'd love it to. But just know that. And that really that awareness is the biggest key. And, we just need to know that, and that we're human and we're having this experience, and we need to share it with each other and inspire each other. So I will post that article too in our group, because it's really a good read. Oh, the last one I have to, I love this, and I think I'm going to use this in my post today, is the chaos. The chaos of our days is not here to break us. It is here to wake us up, so that we can create life situations that are a reflection of our internal state of kindness, cooperation, compassion, health, respect, and well-being. And I think that's beautiful, because we can use this as a time to awaken to really, this awesome life that we have, even amidst all the chaos and the feelings that we're having. It can wake us up to look outside ourselves, to helping and inspiring other people. And in doing that, it, gets back into our internal emotion and mood. And then that, helps us create that external life that we're looking for. So that is what I have to say about that. If you want to share anything on that, go ahead and unmute yourself. It's cool. It has reactions now. You can react with a thumbs up. Oh, yay. Look at that. Those are cool.
I have to tell you, I think it was 2 days ago, I had a very bad day. And it, like you said, you wake up, and I just knew it. And I thought, okay, first it was a headache. I don't know why. Water, And then after a while, it just, I don't know, things were unnerving. And I tried not to watch any TV, any news, read anything, because I just kind of got sick of the in your face all the time. And I know how to take care of myself, I mean, and then I got to the point, my dog was really whiny all day long, and it was on my nerves. But lo and behold, my girlfriend that I used to walk with, she called up and she dropped off a bag of magazines at my doorstep, and it was really cool. So, I mean, we were distanced and everything, but because her husband's going through chemo. So of course, it's like, keep the distance. But they were both outside. They're just going to go for a drive, because it's driving them nuts too. But it's just that act of kindness, and then the gratitude, like you said, it really turned it around, going, God, I should be thankful, And so I just really appreciated it. And so it just prompted me to go and contact, friends and stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. That's good to pay it forward.
Yeah.
If it made you feel good, then you can share that goodness with others.
Right. So it works. I didn't know it at the time, but
thank you for sharing that.
I swear, and the upper guy up there just puts it right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Do you have something to add, Karen?
I don't even know. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Because I can't see my buttons. So I didn't know if I was muted. Well, we'll see. I've been still going to work, but I'm on vacation now. So we'll see how this week goes. When my husband's home and I'm home, and he's kind of getting enough of it already. And he's a guy that likes to be busy all the time. And it's been cold here and snowing, and so at least I hope it warms up. He could get outside, then he could do something and feel better. So we'll see how this week goes with the two of us here. I don't know, but try to apply all the things you talked about that will keep me going. We'll see.
Yeah, so that's what with those two shares, and thanks, Karen, for sharing that, because I know you have been going through a lot since the beginning of the year, and it just kind of seems like it dominoes, and that can really like break you down mentally and emotionally and spiritually, so that you can't even show up physically like you want to. I get that. And you're persevering, and you're a warrior, so thank goodness for you got that going on for you. Today, like both Karen and Deb mentioned, like there are things, if you make a list of things that you can do, make a list of things that will bring you joy in this moment. You know, it may just be walking your dog, go for a ride, go for a drive, because you're still, you know, abiding by the social distancing and all that, but you got to get out of this environment. If you can't, you know, if you need to get out of these walls, that's going to bring you just some joy. I saw somebody else who did that. They took a ride and they were sharing about that, and it felt good to get out and everything, some fresh air, you know, the windows rolled down, and then seeing just the countryside and sunlight. But then they also saw the realities, and she was in the city, more in a city environment, but saw the realities of, you know, the empty parks and the empty streets, and whoever was walking around had masks on. And so the reality of the situation kind of like hit her at the same time she was experiencing joy. And sometimes we are going to have that where we're experiencing both sides of the feelings at the same time.
Yeah.
So, you know, then that's where you get to lean into, and like Deb did, turn the news off, you know, pick up the book and lean into the things, that list of things that are going to bring you joy, and lean into those things. Because right now you really do have to be very mindful and intentional with what you're doing to change your thought process, to change how you're feeling. So
Sandy had done some chats here. Sandy said,
Oh,
so
yes.
in my life, I'm making masks for some friends, and I'm busy all day long and still have the challenge with the Lent diet.
Mm,
And
yeah.
which, because I have the mask pattern, and I flubbed the first one and I threw it aside, but I'm going to make some today. So
That
yeah.
would be cool, and send them as gifts of thoughts to people.
Yeah.
Thinking of you. So Sandra is doing the Lent diet too. She's in the Fit Family page. You should just connect with her, share your struggles. Kudos to both of you for doing that. I'm a recovering Catholic. I haven't done it. Okay, well, I will stop the recording here.